World War I had a soldier who survived getting shot, blown up, buried alive, and just kept walking. I'm not exaggerating. You think plot armor is a movie thing? Nah, this dude was real. His name was Henry Johnson. And what he did in 1918 sounds fake. He was part of the Harlem Hellfighters, one of the first all-black American regiments sent to Europe. And here's where it gets wild. Because of racism in the U.S. Army at the time, they were actually placed under French command. So Johnson is out there fighting for a country that barely respects him, in a war that isn't even on American soil. Now picture this. Middle of the night, Argonne Forest, pitch black. Johnson and one other soldier are on sentry duty. Then suddenly, German raiding party. At least a dozen of them. They start throwing grenades into the post. Johnson gets hit. Not once, multiple times. Shrapnel, bullets. But here's where it turns insane. His rifle jams. So what does he do? He pulls out a knife and charges them, alone. He's slashing, fighting, screaming, wounded the entire time. He stops them from kidnapping his fellow soldier. When it's over, he's been hit over 20 times. 20, and he's still standing. Tell me that doesn't sound like a Marvel origin story. But here's the part nobody talks about. When he got home, he wasn't treated like a hero. Why? Because of the color of his skin. And that's where this story takes a turn. America almost erased one of its most insane war heroes. Let that sink in. After the battle in 1918, the French immediately recognized what Johnson did. They awarded him the Croix de Guerre, one of their highest honors for bravery. But back home, silence. No Medal of Honor. No big parade. No celebrity status. He returned to a country that still enforced segregation. Think about that. You fight off a dozen enemy soldiers by yourself. You nearly die protecting your comrade, and your own nation shrugs. Johnson struggled after the war. Health problems, financial issues, and here's the crazy irony. World War I was supposed to be the war to make the world safe for democracy. But democracy wasn't exactly checking for everyone. It took nearly a century, almost 100 years, for the U.S. to fully recognize what he did. In 2015, he was finally awarded the Medal of Honor. Almost 97 years later, that's not just late, that's generational. Imagine risking everything for your country, and your great-grandkids are the ones who finally see you honored. So now the question isn't just about the battlefield, it's about memory, who gets remembered, and who gets quietly edited out. But wait, here's where it gets even deeper. Because Johnson's story isn't just about one man. It exposes something bigger about World War I itself. World War I didn't just reshape Europe, it exposed America to itself. You're probably thinking WWI is just trenches and Europe drama. But nah, it hit different at home. Over 350,000 Black Americans served during the war. Many hoped that proving their bravery overseas would earn them equality back home. Sounds logical, right? Fight for freedom abroad. Get freedom at home. But when they returned, the Red Summer of 1919 exploded. Racial violence across multiple U.S. cities. Instead of celebration, there was backlash. And that tension, it fueled something powerful. The Harlem Renaissance, civil rights activism, a louder demand for change. Johnson's story becomes a symbol of that contradiction. America calling itself the land of the free, while some of its bravest soldiers couldn't even eat at certain restaurants when they came home. World War I is usually remembered for trench warfare, gas attacks, and political treaties. But zoom in. Look at one soldier, one night in the forest, one knife fight against impossible odds. And suddenly the war feels less like old black and white footage, and more like a mirror. So here is what I want you thinking about. If a country can send you to die for it, but takes a century to admit you were a hero, was World War I really about defending freedom or exposing who didn't fully have it?